So now we got to repeat this again because I'm still having problems with people taking things that don't belong to them. What does it say? Every contact, every problem, every loss. You know, you run around and you tell everybody, we get. You get what? Hold on. Listen, you didn't get a name today, and your plan didn't work today. Again, there's a lot of factors involved in this that you're pretending aren't there. Okay, you're not going to take something and make the little lady mind me. I'm going to take this and make the little lady mind me. She's going to mind us. No. In 15 years, has that ever worked? It doesn't. The opposite happens. You get told on. So my guy's like, okay, we've said in the past, you take something from her, I'm going to take something from you. I'm going to take intel so she knows what to do and your thing doesn't work. We've been doing that for 15 years. You took her privacy, I'm taking your privacy. I got a court order and I got in your privacy. You destroy her property, or you take things that don't belong to you, I'm going to take something from you. And then she'll always know what to do. Always has, always will. And then your plan does not work. Not like you thought. Not like you thought at all. Okay, so while you're taking, and while you're harassing me, and while you're threatening me, and while you're stalking me, and while you're trying to coerce and intimidate me, and while you're trying to gaslight me and pretending that all those factors that I have that are in this situation that you've not encountered before apparently, while you pretend they're not there, you can't get a name and I got 111. Okay, my guy said, my boss, the one you want to fire me, he said, I want you to tell them if they take another thing from you or destroy any more property that belongs to you, I don't care if it costs 50 cents or $100,000. I don't care what the cost is. I'm going to make sure it costs them $1 million every fucking time they do that, because we've told them to stop. They're not going to get a name. And they're not going to, I guess I better mind them. These big guys who pick on women and think they're tough. Have I ever said that? No. Never have I said that. All it does is pisses us off. You get told on, and ratted out, and told on. Or we can get the information some other way, but we get it. We get, sir, 9 million times, 111 times, 27 times to your nothing. That is what's real. There are factors involved in this one. They're very, very different than what you've encountered before. One of your guys said over the last 2-3 days, this taking money and making women broke only works on women who've never had money and don't know they can make money. They don't know any better. You control them with money. And this has never worked on her because she has had money. She made her own money. You took it. All that did is piss her off. She doesn't see you as a source. She sees you as a problem. And she wants you gone. By the way, she has help to make you gone. And those are factors you're not considering. And when people like David thinks that he can gaslight her, there's another factor he pretends doesn't exist. She doesn't give a shit what he thinks. Gaslighting only works if you care what the person if you care what they think. She didn't give a shit what they think. That's not her crowd. Her crowd is her boss and the people on her team. She didn't give a crap what some weirdo thinks. How many times has she said, I don't go to the mental hospital and ask those people what they think. You people are all abnormal. You're all mental, or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Okay, Charles, we get the information before you do it. Then when you do it, we have proof. You can't say I'm crazy when you keep doing exactly what we say. Can you? I know you're trying your best. Let's just say she's crazy. Let's just lie. I saw a therapist who did not diagnose me with a mental illness or prescribe medicine, and I saw her for 1.5 years. You guys picked her. I didn't know her from Adam. She said, you are stalking, and I am tired of you interfering in my life and butting in things that are... Why are you always where I am? Why are you talking to my family and I'm not? My kids are my kids. That's not your family. That's not your kids, sir. Okay, what planet do you live on? We had the McNamara email, and then you did exactly what it said. You even did it to my son. Didn't you? She said, after a year and a half, twice a month for an hour or two, she said, he can't get attention unless he's making a problem. And so we've seen you do that. We said like Mike Neely didn't kill Lucky Miller, he was drugged. Way before they did depositions and that information was confirmed. I'm crazy, really? Okay, you're the one with Huntington's disease. You've actually got your doctor to diagnose you with Huntington's disease. You going around saying, let's just say this and let's just say that doesn't do a damn thing. If you use the words just say in front of your lie, do you think that makes it less of a lie? See, the rest of the world does not see it that way. We get the help and you don't. We get. Not you. You get told on. That's what's real. You're pissing people off and you're creeping everybody out and you're embarrassing everyone, and that's how the rest of the world sees you and why we get the help and you don't. You get told on. Okay? Another guy said, if this, let's just say this wasn't her job and this was about some sort of romance, didn't she say about a gazillion times, you're not going to ride this ride if you're not normal? And he is as abnormal as they get. So if he wanted to ride that ride, he'd go be normal. And quit acting like that. Like a weirdo. And embarrassing himself and everybody else too. He wouldn't do it. So he didn't want her. He wants to be abnormal. He's in love with weirdo. That's who he's married to. That's who he's in love with. Because if you're in love with a person, you do things they like. And she's also said, I don't do broke for anybody. I don't do it. Under any circumstances. And I don't go out with men who peep. So he does all of that. So if he actually liked her, he would not do all that. So he's not in love with her. He's in love with being weird. He's a misogynist, sadist, and he's a weirdo. That's who he's in love with. That's what he's in love with. And if that's not true, then he should have proven that a long time ago by not doing every cruel weirdo thing no normal person could think of if they had to. So for him to make these claims when anybody can see the opposite is true is stupid. The guy's stupid. So I don't do broke. I wouldn't go out with a peeping Tom for any amount of money. You got a sick problem. You are violating me in the most vulgar way there is. We've told you to stop. I don't go out with broke. Okay, your fucking ghetto JCPenney canned food yuck is not my thing. It's never been my thing, never will be. I don't know what planet you fucking live on. I don't care. But you're for sure not my crowd. So I don't want to please you. I like to do the opposite of pleasing some sadistic weirdo like yourself. Deranged, demented, disturbing, nutbag criminal like you. If you approve of something I'm doing, I better change it. So your gaslighting doesn't work on me, and your make her bro. We got to get the little lady to mind us. No. Okay, this is the generation of the Me Too movement. We don't do that anymore. Okay, get off Noah's Ark. It's also the generation of defunding police movement. So we don't do corrupt police anymore. Okay? Now, you're not factoring in a whole lot of things. You're pretending these major factors don't exist. So we're way ahead of you. 9 million times, 111 times, 27 times. We're way ahead of you. And then your thing doesn't work. So you want to keep taking my property and destroying it, or putting something on the shelves that's not worth a shit, or it's poisoned, or it's contaminated. We're talking to the people at the grocery. My guys are. They're talking to the people at the restaurants. We hear you call them. They're monitoring your phone calls. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we get more. We get more. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from you. I don't give a shit what you think. I did not ask. Didn't ask you. Did I? Nope. Okay. So, what does this say? You don't like that she finds out every time you try to do some crime to her? You don't like that she finds out? No. Okay, well, her people are very intelligent, and they can think past tying their shoe, and you can't. And here's a big factor that you're pretending doesn't exist. And that's why nothing works out for you. In 15 years, you can't even get a name. Her people are very strategic and methodical, and they do their research or they don't do anything at all. And they understand what everybody wants. What everybody wants is you're gone. And there's no more of this. They don't want this. It's about what everybody outside your little club strango is about what they think, not you. Okay? You don't fit into my crowd, Charles. I don't give a fuck what you think. You're not the crowd I'm trying to please. My boss is. Okay, I don't like you because you're a weirdo and you embarrass me. I don't think there's a damn thing sexy about you. I think you're a weirdo and you're embarrassing me. And that's all there is to it. I've made my own money. You took it. You took it. You're just a problem we all want gone. That's all you are. Okay, that's why we get the help and you don't. You just don't understand, do you? That people are sick of you. All of you, they're sick of you and they want you gone. And then there's no more problems, and there is no more loss, and there is no more suffering, and there is no more mangled bodies, and there is no more murder, and there is no more rape. You're gone. You're just the problem everyone wants gone. So I find, ever since he said this, I find out before, I know what to do, your thing doesn't work. You get caught when you do it to me. Okay? I am not a special education teacher. And I'm trying to reason with people who are as dumb fuck as they come. And nutbag as they get. And weirdo as it is. Okay? Just like that. But there's a whole rest of the world that thinks normally and logically. And they're intelligent. And they don't like you. Nobody likes the suffering you're causing. Nobody likes the problems you cause. Nobody likes people that take from women and children. Nobody likes peeping toms. Nobody likes sex predators. Okay, so when you have this conversation, keep this in mind. When you have this, there's 2 conversations you guys had over the last 2-3 days that support the contention that the people at the compounds are not there of their own free will. They are kidnapped victims and they're being held hostage. There was a prior one when a little girl was crying, I want to go home, take me home. So that's another one our guys have. Okay, and you wouldn't do it. Where is she now? The other one was, this only works on women who have never had money, have never made money, don't know they can. This is not her. She's not a teenage runaway you dug out of a ditch. She has money. She's had money. You took it. Now you're just the problem she wants gone. So you running around thinking, well, we'll take and then make the little lady mind us. And you thinking you can control her with money has never in 15 years worked. Never has it worked. And that is a major factor you're trying to pretend doesn't exist. And it hasn't even benefited you. Okay? I lived for 6 months in my car with no food and no bath. And I would not call you, didn't consider calling you, didn't slip up with a name. Didn't go back to dance. I could have gone to dance. I was door dashing then, remember? You tried your best to make sure I didn't make any money door dashing. You took over the app. My guys can prove that in your criminal case. Okay? And you made sure I didn't make any money. You, Calvin, and Sanjay did that, right? Okay, I mean, we have the names, not just the names, but what these people are doing. A lot of them. Specifically, here's the task that this guy's doing. Gordy is the one that drops the shit off at the grocery and the restaurants, isn't it? David's the one that's repackaging stuff. Okay, so, I mean, we have is exactly what your pretty specific details from inside your criminal organization. So those people at the compounds are hostages. They're not there of their own free will. You're trying to control them with money and with food and with drugs. And I have never done drugs. I didn't even smoke pot, not even one time. 10 years in a strip club, never would I even try pot. I'd barely drink. Okay, I wouldn't do the extras in the VIP. That's not my thing. Okay, you people are not my crowd. So your gaslighting doesn't work. I don't give a shit what people like you think. I hope to do. If I'm doing something that you think is cool, I try not to do it. Okay, I don't like you. You're not my kind. You don't fit into my crowd at all. You never did. So you're as abnormal as they get. There's a whole study on abnormal psychology. Did you know there's a whole class on that? Yeah, antisocial disorder, psychotic psychosis. You got that with Huntington's disease. You're psychotic. It's diagnosed by your doctor. Delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, paranoia, and impaired cognitive reasoning, right? You're a certified diagnosed nutbag. 10 years past a good time for a butterfly net and a padded cell. By your doctor said that. We didn't try to run around and play doctor for you. We didn't try to find a bunch of shrinks to say you're crazy like you do to me and lie. Your doctor diagnosed you with that, and because you were cruel to me, one of your people said, I'm sick and tired of him being cruel to her. He doesn't want her to know he's got Huntington's disease. Make sure she finds out. Okay, you don't know, you don't have any idea how many times that happens. Okay, so because of the money situation, you're trying to make me broke. I didn't go back to dance. I was trying very hard not to. The only reason I went back to dance was because you took my car too. So I had to find a way to have a place to live, or some place to stay and take a bath and eat, and someplace I didn't have to drive back and forth to work to. So I went and I lived at the club for a couple of months until I got some more student loan excess money and a little bit of money I made dancing again, which I was trying my best not to go back to. And you knew that. You forced a situation where I really didn't have a choice between what you did with DoorDash and taking my car, making sure I couldn't make a car payment. Then I had to. So I lived at the club for a couple, where I could just wake up and I'm at work, make some money, go back to bed. I had somebody else get my groceries for me or get food for me. The sad thing about Paul is the extortion thing that he did was not cool. Okay, they got an extortion case against him for that. I don't know if they'll actually press charges against him or not. I think there's some other things they're looking into with that. But he did give me a place to stay when nobody else would. My family wasn't there for me, but he was. Okay, was that because that was more convenient for you, Mr. Perry? Because you had access, and so you told my family don't help her, but you told Paul it was okay too, because then I'm dancing, and then you can try to groom me to be trafficked. I mean, if it's convenient for you, then you'll do it, and you'll let other people do. Otherwise, you won't. Or did you lie to my family and tell them I was okay? I mean, put it on the record. You like talking, talk on the record. Answer those questions on the record. So we got the money thing. I have help, so how much worse is it for the people, the girls who don't have the help I have? I mean, there's factors here you're pretending aren't there. So those girls at the compounds are hostages. They're not there of their own free will. You told them they can't eat if they're not there with you. Right? I'm going to decide when you eat. I'm going to decide how much you eat. There's very much nutritional neglect. There's medical neglect. And there is education neglect at those compounds. And CPS needs to go in and investigate. There's also abuse. Major, major abuse. And you got bodies buried in the back. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. On fact, not by retaliating, not by murder, and not by deflecting. I don't think you can, or you would have done it by now. Right? Okay, the other thing is, but he said she'll find out tomorrow, and I have every day since. Until Mr. Perry gets a grip on reality and understands, you just don't understand how hated you are for the cruelty that you do, and the creepy and the embarrassing stuff that you do. You just don't understand how sick and tired of you everybody else is. All of you. How bad everybody wants you gone. All of you. So, she'll find out again tomorrow. Until he's in jail, or until he gets a grip on reality and understands that, it'll happen again tomorrow. And it has every day since he said that. Okay. Once again, this is what we're saying that's proven out. Okay. You're not going to get a name until you stop invading her privacy, stop contacting her and her family. She cannot be broke or have problems and loss because of you. And if she has to repeat herself, something's taking it out of your ass. Okay, you're taking up her time repeating. You take my time, he takes it out of your ass every time. You're taking something from me as of today, He said, I'm going to make sure it costs him $1 million if he takes another thing from you or destroys any more property. I don't care if it's something that costs 50 cents. I don't care if it's something that costs 100 grand. Okay? Whatever the price is to you is going to cost him $1 million. I'll make sure of it. I promise you have my word. Okay? So there's that. Look at this. That's the results. That's actual results. So the other reason that we know that the people at the compounds are hostage is we heard you guys arguing about my son Dennis. And one of you guys, maybe Gordy, said Dennis signed a contract with us. But he says, when we confront him about the contract, I signed it when I was a teenager. I didn't even know what I was signing. Okay, the contract is not valid. And he cannot be held to it. Sue him and see. Sue Dennis for breach of contract, and let's see if that holds up in court. We're going to use it to prove witness tampering. We're going to use NDAs to prove witness tampering. It's not hard. It's easy. Okay? So we heard you talking about that. That's the other thing is, we're not quoting them, we're quoting you. We're not quoting my kids, we're quoting you. I guess somebody was talking about my mother the other day, and I'm quoting you, quoting my mother. We asked Kathy about Cynthia's personality to see if she's going to be budging, if she'll budge at all ever or what. And she said something to the effect of, since she was a little girl, if somebody's getting bullied, she will get in their face and she won't back off until you stop. Okay, she's always been that way. And I said, ask Steve Massengale and Dan Pope the same question. How many emails did they have from me about my complaints about bullying from teachers to students at LISD? They were board members at the time. I went to the principal. He did not respond appropriately. I went to the superintendent. He also did not respond appropriately. So I just showed up at a board meeting and presented my case at a board meeting. And then they got some emails after that. This person is a teacher bullying students. And that is inappropriate conduct for a teacher at a school. Guess what? All those people are now gone. Because Dan Pope and Steve Massengale handled the situation appropriately. Maybe because that's how they are. Maybe because I presented it day one right out of the gate. Once I went through the proper channels and didn't get the right response, I went to a board meeting. Let's just say it at a board meeting in front of everybody on the record. Okay, so there's that. So you're bullying people at the compounds. You're bullying my family, my kids, and I'm going to bully you. That's what I do. Apparently, you said that's what my mom told you. If somebody's getting bullied, even when she was a little girl, and I said, when I was 5, we lived in Lubbock. We were supposed to go to the park. And while we were waiting for my mother to come outside, a little girl pops over the fence. My sister and I went over to talk to her, and she starts bullying us, and I punched her in the face. Just like that, 5 years old, popped her right in the face. And unfortunately, my mother said, we can't go to the park now because this is not how we handle conflict. We do not hit people. So there was that. I don't care who you think you are, and I have help that also doesn't care who you think you are. You sitting around bullshitting yourselves about how important you are hasn't changed anything. We get the intel, you don't. We have 111 names, you have none. No one will help you. You know why? You just don't understand how sick and tired of you people everybody else is. And the terrorizing and the suffering you're causing. And all the problems. And all the taking. And that's what's real. There are factors that you're pretending don't exist, which gives us an edge. So, I know to do that. Okay? And your thing doesn't work. 9 million times, 111 times, we get. 27 times, we get. Right? Yep. I just quoted your people twice now. We don't tell you everything we have. I said no, and my answer is no. And when you continue to pressure and push and bully, all that does is pisses me off, and it's been that way 15 years. Okay, when you guys have a pattern, we spot it the second time you do it. Like drugging me and drugging Mike Neely, and when we don't die, you put us in jail. A lot of perjury, a lot of fraud upon a court in order to do that. Okay, so that's a pattern. Here we are 15 years into this, and you can't spot a pattern in 15 years, and you can't figure out, nobody will help you, and then they won't stick their neck out for you. I don't know. Look at this. You want to fight a woman? You know where I am. What are you waiting on? Trying to get your pantyhose on first, Tinkerbell? I mean, come on now. Tough guy. I mean, I can prove it, or you would have let me put my evidence in front of a court, and you didn't 3 times. You made sure I didn't. Okay? So that was your choice. Now it's your job to prove me wrong, and you can't, or you'd have done it by now. Right? Oh, I mean, this could just go on and on and on, Mr. Perry. You just don't understand how sick of you everybody is and the problems you cause and the loss and the suffering you are. So when you're talking about this contract my son supposedly signed, it isn't a valid contract, especially if he was a teenager when he signed it. None of your contracts are valid because they're criminal. They're evidence of witness tampering is what they are. So are your NDAs. They're not worth the paper they're written on. They're not worth shit. We intend to use them as evidence of witness tampering and coercion and intimidation. It's not hard. Okay? So nobody's bound by a contract. You and your contracts, I don't know. Illegal. Contract's not valid if it's illegal. And anything you took from me in the process of stalking isn't admissible if you're trying to plan the next, let's do another false arrest. Let's all go where she is all the time and harass the hell out of her. And then if she talks about it, we'll say she's harassing us. Didn't you guys say that when I was in jail the first time? Yep. Okay, so that's 2 or 3 things that we got today out of your continued harassment, Mr. Perry. See, when you contact me, we get. You get told on, and we get. When you cause a problem or a loss for me, whether it's 50 cents or 100 grand, we get, sir, not you. You invade my privacy, they're going to get up your ass with a microscope, detective's microscope, and by God, they're going to find out what you're up to next so that I can get around it and stay alive. You're pissing people off. You just don't understand how badly you're pissing people off and creeping people out with the weirdo shit you do and the cruelty. Kindness rewards you. We get. Cruelty will destroy you. You get told on. So when you tell me this, we get. We don't have any words for that. How ridiculous that sounds in light of that. So, I told you no. I told you, give it back and get the fuck out, or he'll get more and do it for you. And we did all day long. And we heard your money conversation, and we heard you talking about, Dennis's contract or whatever. He's not bound by that contract. Sue him. And see if that'll hold up in court. I told you not to contact my children, and that's what I meant. Okay? I told you don't contact my kids. And all this stuff, we put it together, it makes a great case in a courtroom to prove you're holding hostages. 106, you said, at your various compounds. And they're not homes for unwed mothers. They're brothels for human traffickers. And you got caught because you did it to me. Okay? For the last time, you creepy fuck, I don't like you. I don't want a damn thing to do with you. And people are starting to notice. She said she's not going to go out with a peeping Tom. You got to be normal to ride this ride. Okay, so if he really was into her, he would do what she likes. He's not. I think he's in love with being a weirdo is what he's in love with. I think he's psychotic. And he needs to be put in a nut house. You think? We couldn't agree more. We could not agree more. All right, so how much money did you spend today to get us all this intel that we got today? I haven't even said most of it. That's just a few things we got today. So how much money have you spent getting us 9 million, 111 names, 27 cohorts to your nothing? How much? What were you talking to Marvin about today? Yeah, we heard you talking to Marvin. All right, well, I'm not putting that one out, okay? We're going to hold on to that. We're going to hold on to some other stuff, but you bought us a lot more intel today. He's going to make sure if you take something from me or you damage property or cause loss, if it's 50 cents, it's going to cost you $1 million. Just that's the way that is. Okay? You didn't get a name. Your plan didn't work. I'm not delivered. I'm not fired. Again today. You're not going to make the little lady mind us. No, not. Never have in 15 years, have you? Nope. You have not in 15 years. That's not how I roll. Okay? You're not the crowd I'm trying to please, so your gaslighting is bullshit. And I know exactly what it is, so I just kind of ignore it. Remember, we hear you guys talking about this stuff, so usually when you have somebody try to come gaslight me, I don't say a word. I hit play and let you confirm my intel. Charles, if you contact me, you're going to pay for it. It will come out of your ass because I don't want to hear from you. I don't care anything about what you think. I don't care what you think. I asked you not to contact me at all, didn't I? It will come out of your ass every time you do that. You are going to fuck off. Come hell or high water. Or my guy will do it for you. Remember, that is what you ask for every time you contact me, every time you invade my privacy, every time you take from me, every time you cause a problem or loss for me, it always comes out of your ass. Okay? 9 million to your nothing. 9 million of your phone calls and meetings to your none. You don't have any of that from us. 111 of your accomplices' names to your zip. You have no name. Nobody's going to give the weird guy a name. Nobody's going to give the bully a name. It hasn't happened in 15 years. It's not going to happen now. All the money, no amount of money has bought you even one name. Nope, bought me names, not you. 27 of your code words that you use to describe an act of coercion and intimidation with intent to deliver a victim of human trafficking to hold them hostage and pimp them out. Okay, there's a lot of factors involved when you do this stuff to me that you have tried to pretend very hard don't exist, but reality says they do. And then we find out before, and I know what to do, and your thing doesn't work. And it's a pattern, dum-dum, that you should have spotted a long time ago. So, because you're stupid and risky, nobody's going to give you a name. You're just risk. He's caught. That's risk. What's worse is he acts like he doesn't know he's caught. So that's double risk, and I'm out. I'm done. I'm not helping him. And then you get that a lot. You get the runaround, just like I promised.